Welcome, everybody, to episode 186 of Perpetual Backlog. I'm one of your hosts, Aqua, and joining me today is Dalit.
Hey.
And Elite.
Hello.
Hello. Now, I have done two things this week.
Go on, tell us more.
All right. Only two things this week. All right. And they all include the same thing, and that's Fairy Tail. All right.
Oh, very focused.
Yeah. I have watched a absolute metric shit ton of episodes of Fairy Tail. All right. And I picked up the Fairy Tail RPG video game just to give that a try. So I haven't played any games other than the Fairy Tail game. And I'm going to tell you, it is literally just an Atelier game with the Fairy Tail skin. That is literally all it is.
The question becomes, is that a good or bad thing?
It's definitely mindless. All right, I'm playing on hard mode, but I'm like over leveled out the ass at the moment. So, there are some like enemies that can do like a decent amount of damage. But never to the point where I'm like super dying unless I run into a monster that's like level 50. I'm like level 30 at the moment. So, what else? It's good. I think if you're a Fairy Tail fan, it's a good game. I guess if you're an Atelier fan, it's kind of a good game because it plays almost exactly like it. You just don't have there's not like an Atelier or like some magical cauldron that you're like synthesizing stuff out of. You can synthesize the equipment, which are called lacrimas, whatever. And so there is kind of like a gathering aspect of like getting materials to make those things, but it's very basic.
Is there a reason why years? Is that like relevant to fairy tale stuff?
Is a reason why what?
Lacrima, it means tears. Like, is that relevant
Oh,
to
lacrima
fairy tale?
is their type of energy crystals that are in Fairy Tail. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, lacrima is like condensed. God, I'm gonna get into specifics here. It's condensed ether nano, which ether nano is like their magic particles. That it lives within everything in Fairy Tail.
I mean, that checks out. Anyone who's ever played a fantasy game kind of knows that. I mean, we all play 14. That's what the crystals are. So
yeah, so yeah, it's pretty good. It's like it's a turn-based RPG, so it's pretty basic. You get four people to a team, and I think you get access to 16 characters, and I think I have access to less than 10 at the moment. So
so you've got plenty to get done. Hey,
character-wise, yeah. I mean, I still have a pretty decent bit story-wise because I think this goes all the way to the end of the Tartaros arc. Because Fairy Tail 2 comes out at the end of this year, and that starts the Alvarez Empire arc. So I'm assuming I still technically have a good bit to go storyline-wise, because I'm only in the Grand Magic Games, which is technically I'm just before the animation change in Fairy Tail. So I'm still in technically the first part of Fairy Tail, like storyline-wise. I haven't hit the second part yet. But that happens right after the Grand Magic Game, so I'm like pretty much right there at it. There's also like a dungeon type thing in this game as well. There's like a rift in space and time that you get to go into, and you complete floors. But it's like it's a small dungeon in its size, as in like you're just going down these like really tight corridors. And so like anytime you round a corner, you can end up like running into an enemy. It's just like a very like it's physically small within the game. But it's pretty big. You get I've gotten access to 5 floors, and I've beaten those 5 floors, and I think every 5th floor is the boss. So that's pretty interesting, and I think that they'll extend into end game. And I know there's another end game dungeon, I think, also, but obviously I don't have access to that 'cause I'm not in end game. But yeah, I mean it's pretty nice. It's very basic. I know you can get your stats of like each of your characters to like 999, so that'll be interesting. I already do an absolute metric crap ton of damage. One of my super like chain attacks did like 130 something thousand, but that was when I was playing as Urza going up against 100 enemies. So
Fair.
yeah, Urza in the Grand Magic games, Urza does this one thing where she's like, she gets picked to do this thing called Pandemonium, which is like a upside down castle where you go up against you can like choose to go up against however many enemies you want to go up against. But there's like 100 monsters in this castle. And you take each contestant takes turns, all right? Because nobody assumes that you're just gonna go and fight everything, all right? So you like, I want to challenge like 5 D class monsters or something like that, and you just get points depending on that. Urza picks a straw and she gets number 1, and she goes, "This isn't even a game. Out of 100 monsters, I choose to fight all 100." And then she fights and kills all 100 monsters and just wins just wins that part of the contest.
In true protag fashion.
To the point where they were
I was gonna say in full MC fashion, but that's not correct.
No, she's not MC, but she is. I would say she's more busted than the MC, but the MC's kind of got plot bustedness.
The way that everyone talks about Erza just makes me think, I'm stunned she's still alive. She seems like a kind of character that dies early because she's too capable to live through the story.
Okay, so there is a character like that, all right, but they don't kill this character off. It's Gildarts. It's the guy that looks like Shanks from One Piece.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's actually
because of that reason,
one of the
as
most.
a matter of fact,
he's actually one of the most busted characters in the entire world. All right, but they don't kill him off. He just goes off on a quest and never comes back.
Oh,
yeah, he's like a super S-class wizard where he takes on quests called like century quests or like decade quests where they could take like decades or centuries to like actually fulfill. Which is what I'm assuming the premise of the new fairy tale series is, because it's called 100-Year Quest. And I think it's the quest that Gildarts was on when he was finally introduced in the story. Because he came back and he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't complete this quest," and so like he's like, "Oh well," the master's like, "Well, I'll just have to give it to somebody else," and then we never hear about that quest ever again. And so I assumed that like after, it's because the reason why you never hear about this quest ever again is because so much stuff happens between that part and the end of Fairy Tale that, you know, there's no reason to do this quest. And so I think 100-Year Quest is like, oh, now that we've you know escaped from the impending doom of the world being destroyed, we need to finish this quest. And so I think that's what the 100-Year Quest is about. Yeah, it's a pretty nice game. It's like, it's brain dead. I don't really have to think too much. It's like super easy. I've seen what Fairy Tale 2 looks like, and it looks like they put more money into it, so it doesn't look like a Atelier like skin or a Fairy Tale Atelier skin. So, you know, that'll be interesting. But that is actually legitimately everything I did this entire week. It was work, come home, watch Fairy Tale, or play Fairy Tale. So yeah, it's I've got so much Fairy Tale knowledge in my head. It is insane. So I could pass it off to any one of you two, whoever wants to take the mantle of talking about what you did this week.
Go next because it's real simple.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. All right. In that case,
Okay.
go.
I played Wukong. That's it. I recovered. As you can hear, I'm no longer dying, which is really nice. That's recent as of yesterday.
Hooray!
Yeah, it's finally gone. The evil has been defeated. I no longer have an infected, chest area, I guess.
yeah.
So breathing has been grand, and I became as monkey, and I've beaten that game once through now, and I am literally at the final boss of my second run through, and I guess I'll go for a third just to get all of the stuff. Super
Oh wow.
enjoyable game. People have been talking about this game as like the for sure game of the year. I don't know about that. I think the competition it has is steep enough that there is room to talk about the other games. I by no means think this is a sure thing. However, this game is absolutely comparable to Elden Ring, which, if I recall, is in fact a Game of the Year winner. So,
Yeah, but is it
you
is it
know,
as in depth as Elden Ring?
in terms of like the itemization and stuff, it's not as in depth. It's more in depth than you might think. Like you can do builds and stuff, but like you are at the end of the day a monkey in armor with a staff. The narrative obviously is going to be much better than any Souls-like because it's a story that you can follow. You aren't solely required to read every item to get it. The slight downside to that is if you don't know all things Journey to the West, it's a bit rough. You do have homework to do. I believe I complained about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
That is a true statement. I know all the people that are saying this is de facto game of the year don't care about the story, so fair enough. It's also super easy. Not, I shouldn't say that. That's not true. Don't listen to me. That's a dumbass speaking. It is much easier than the other FromSoft Souls likes I have played.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there is absolutely a learning curve. You cannot block. You must parry or dodge, which I think just inherently is going to be difficult for some people, which is understandable. But in general, I just think it's super easy to overpower what you're dealing with. And you are granted so many things. Early on, I made a lot of use of mortal medicine, but about chapter 3, it stopped being important to me at all. Yeah, but that's it. I enjoy this game. I mean, I was familiar with the story from before, so my homework has been relatively simple. Um, I don't I don't know how this is going to go in the long run, but this is absolutely a contender. Like this is absolutely like it's on everyone else to be a better game than this one this year.
I still
That's
give
it. That's all I did.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Uh, here's the problem with 7 for me, and this is gonna sound even more weird to other people who enjoy 7. I liked, Remake more. I cannot explain despite having the better combat system, and I don't even necessarily think this had the better part of the story. I think the best part of the story is gonna be the 3rd one. I liked the first bit, even with the silly Nomura ghosts. Uh And I can't help that the one thing I remember about Rebirth first, as like the first 3 things on my mind when I think about it is all those fucking mini games. And how fucking tired I was by the end. How much I was no longer excited to finish the game so
Mm.
much as I can't do this anymore. I just want this to be over.
So
Ooh.
the
And
question
that
the
wasn't a
question is
feeling I
about
had in Remake.
yeah, but
Okay.
here's the question about that. Is that on the game for having too much stuff, or is that on you for trying to do that too much stuff?
It's absolutely on me, right? Like, yeah, I could have at any point just ignored it, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think I had to until I fucking burned out. And the
Be-
problem with that is, regardless of whether it's my fault or not, and it is my fault, uh, that feeling that I have is what colors how I remember that game. Because, like I said, objectively, this is a better game than Remake. Oh my goodness, it's so much better.
Yeah, I would say the reason why you felt like you needed to do that is because you enjoyed playing the game so much that you burned yourself out on it. You
No,
wouldn't
that is not what happened. What happened was I wanted to get all the things.
because you enjoyed playing
I
the
did
game.
enjoy I did enjoy the game, but if I mean, I can enjoy the game just by running through the story. All I need is my characters to do really cool things together, and they can, and they do. But, then they had to have every single mini game that was in the base game, which is understandable. And then they had to add another fucking card game because Square Enix can't fucking help themselves.
I think I think the biggest issue actually is the fact that they didn't tell you that you wouldn't even be able to finish the Proto Relic quest line without playing it on hard mode anyway. I think they should have. I think they should tell you that at the beginning when you start the Proto Relic quests.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because I think that's what burns
Yeah.
people out. Because every fourth Proto Relic quest sucks dick.
And I think
Every one.
every proto relic quest is a
Unfortunate.
mini game. I don't think any of them are
Yes.
just straight up.
Well, no. Some of them are
I guess the
no.
very end.
The first one's not a mini game. The first one's you just fighting the stupid fucking people.
Oh, was it? I thought the first one was the Fort Condor stuff. All
No, the
right,
second one's the Fort
that's the
Condor.
second one. Got
Yeah,
it. Got it.
Mhm.
yeah. But all of the fourth ones suck absolutely
They do.
like,
It's just true.
because it's not that it's hard. It's just that like they try to make it like extremely difficult by doing cheesy stuff with it, and I think that's the issue with it. If they told you that you wouldn't be able to finish this quest unless you played on hard mode anyway, or they just didn't give you the proto relic stuff until hard mode, then I think people wouldn't burn themselves out on it, because while there is a lot of other fucking mini games in this game, they're easily to either avoid or to just do. I think proto relics just take
Agreed.
too fucking long.
Furthermore, by the way, not to make not to bring down anything.
Yeah,
Also take into consideration that this is just a me thing to begin with, because I have
yeah,
in recent years gotten very, very tired
hmm
of open world and very, very tired of oversaturated games. Um,
yeah,
I am I am more than happy to play a very straightforward game like 16 and have that be very high on my list because, like I said, my first run through of Wukong, or maybe I said it on a different chat, but my first run through of Wukong was 40 hours, and I thought that was delightful. And
hmm
Hmm.
I didn't get everything I could have done, but I did know there was New Game Plus, and I got like 90% of what I could have gotten. Like everything else was just, oh, I missed this. I missed this left turn and I didn't find the horse. You were just there behind the waterfall. Um, yeah, no, I have like I will admit that my reluctance to put Rebirth above Remake comes just for the fact that I'm getting old. I don't want 100-hour games. If I want to play a game for that long, I'll play an online or a live service type of game. I enjoy shorter games. I've even learned this about D&D. Oh man, I was a part of 2 games that went on for 2 years, and I am part of 1 game that is still going, and I've learned that I do prefer shorter stories. Um, and I'm sure this comes as a surprise to no one who's heard me talk about my
Mhm.
preference in anime and such.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just don't like I like long form things. I don't like when long form is fucking long, though. Like, I like to waste a bunch of time. I like, oh man, when 100 hours is the bare minimum to entry, oh man, I don't know anymore. That's my upper limit. But, to get back on track, like I said, I played Wukong, that was about it. Actually, I lied. I've played exactly 30 minutes of Octopath Traveler because I needed a palate cleanse in between my 2 runs of Wukong. I played the dancer. That opening story is a lot darker than I thought. I was not expecting death immediately.
Octopath Traveler 1?
One.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Primrose story
Prim's
pretty fucking
opening
dark.
is not what I was expecting. I just knew that
Yeah.
everyone loves her, so I said, "Yeah, I'll start with Prim. I know I can literally start with her, then move on to anyone who I want as soon as I want." That was a lot. That was a lot. I had to like immediately put the game back down and go, "How did this game get so much darker than Wukong so fast? What?"
Yeah. I mean, it's a Square game. Square can get pretty dark at times.
The writing was not the best, but I'm
Yeah.
willing to see where this goes. Like I said, I'm only 30 minutes in. I don't even really want to talk about it much
Yeah,
because
that's fair, that's fair.
I have next to no time in it. But that was me. What'd you get up to, Leek? Huh?
Well, it's happened. I'm cured.
Hey, no more what?
Finally.
I uninstalled it.
Yes.
Okay, the evil
uninstalled it,
has
I
been
cancelled sub.
defeated.
Even I've been convinced to play RuneScape.
Oh, even
that's worse.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I didn't think it was possible. Okay.
Oh
Well,
no.
Oh,
Leek,
don't be
Oh,
doing
we
that,
love
surely.
you. We love you. We wish the best for you.
Wait, how
I'm
are you
not
even
sure we
here?
can help you though.
How are you
Oh
even
my
here?
god.
True good question.
You're secretly farming on the side now. You've
Oh,
got
yeah,
Oh,
she's got it up
something
on a
up.
second screen.
Yeah, you're
Oh my
secretly
god. No,
farming, right?
that's not even installed yet. I just said I would, you know. So WoW is gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why we
You're
haven't heard
not
this.
you're
WoW
not
is
lost.
gone.
You're not too lost yet.
I played a bit of Fields of Mystria. What else have I done? Oh yeah, I downloaded the new Pico Park.
Yeah, a couple of
Yeah,
people were
that's
talking about this.
yeah,
How's that
yeah.
going?
I mean, I haven't had a chance to play it. I mean, it's a multiplayer that's best to play it as, right? It's like a number of people
I
can
saw
play.
Mouse playing it the other day.
Yeah, so whenever people are free, and I've got that now. Pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, obviously done some GTA.
Good.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Oh, you know.
Any dark twists?
A friend in the two friends in the group got married. It turned into 2 people ending up in the ICU, one nearly pretty much dying.
Oh,
Wait, I was gonna cheer. What happened? It went dark so quickly.
Adventures of
a son of another
paraplegic.
friend has had a multiple personality thing crop up, and the evil version of themselves has been hunting everyone down.
Exciting. All right, this is better than any of the shows I've been watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, GTA RP is wild.
It's a lot.
It's like a soap opera dialed up to the 9s.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. That's a fantastic way of putting it. My grandmother loved her stories. She'd have loved this.
Oh my god. It's a lot of fun though, but holy shit. We've had it's like literally like you know, days of no of nothing happening, 0.
Days
Peaceful
without
day.
incident, 0.
Yeah, exactly, 0.
Mm.
The norm is now chaos.
Chaos. Well,
Chaos.
you know what you have to do. You have to kill chaos.
I have to kill
You've gotta
chaos.
kill chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah. Yep.
Oodles are fun. But yeah, that's me. Yippee!
Yippee! I'm sorry, everyone. We'll be losing Leek in the future, as she will have been devoured by RuneScape.
Yep.
Can't be helped. We wish her well in future endeavors.
Yep.
Well, farming endeavors, I guess.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like up on another monitor while like watching something, and their like hands are gonna be crossed, like, all right,
Yep,
gotta get this wood, gotta get
exactly.
this wood, gotta get this wood, gotta get
Exactly.
this wood.
Oh god, I don't know what to expect. I've been assured that it has like, a funny humor in the quests and stuff. So we'll see.
I make light of it, but I actually know next to nothing about
I just know it's the
uh,
farmathon,
RuneScape. Yeah, that's mostly my knowledge on
and it looks old as balls.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
it.
Like people don't play like new like the remastered RuneScape. Everybody still plays old school RuneScape. So
Yep. Yep.
well,
There you go.
enjoy. You've given up one curse for another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm collecting curses now.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Next up, we have a quest.
Dude, is
Is
EverQuest
EverQuest even still playable?
EverQuest 2, I think so.
Oh yeah, EverQuest 2
Oh,
is,
interesting.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Just gonna.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings one. Oh my god, I used to play
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I used to play that one.
they know what's up.
Well, Little did not seem to grace himself.
What?
In my emails.
Well, I think we raked him over the coals the last couple times. Hey,
Did he said something last week and it was pretty all right. He was reminding us about the what is it, the PlayStation 5 Pro, because it's
oh no, that's right. We just spent the whole time raking Sony over the coals,
yeah, and then he said Rip Concord, and
which is just
yeah,
a true thing.
and then before that was like months ago.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Yeah. So yeah. whatever, Little. I know you don't like us anymore. That's fine. We do have some news this week. Some points of interest to talk about. One announcement just came out like a couple hours before podcast. Bandai Namco announced that Freedom Wars Remastered is coming to modern consoles and PC July 10th. Or January 10th. I don't know why I said July. January 10th, 2025. So, I've never played Freedom Wars. I don't know if anybody else here has played Freedom Wars.
Nope. Nope.
We were talking about it earlier and I lied to you. I am aware of Freedom Wars, but I have not played it.
I have not played it either, and I wasn't really aware of it. But Salai is super happy about it, because he said everybody needs to be playing Freedom Wars in January. And I...
Alright, get my copy, Sly. I'll play.
And I say, well, unfortunately... Or not July. Fuck, why do I keep saying July? January. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Tales of Grace's F comes out that same week. So, unfortunately...
Oh, well, yeah, there's no hope for you then.
I will not be picking up Freedom Wars. Or January 17th. So I would technically have 7 days, but no. I'll pick up Freedom Wars at some point because it does look interesting. But Grace's F takes January away from me. So,
January is an interesting time because, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, and I'm probably wrong. Have both? When did the Sevens come out? I know one of them was in February.
March.
Was the second one in February as well?
March.
It's in March?
Yep.
Okay, because I was expecting February again to be when it came out, just to keep it going. Maybe not then.
But Rebirth came out this year, man. It's not. They're not having another 7 in at the 1 year later.
Oh, Lord have mercy! I completely forgot myself. Right, there was another Final Fantasy, so I wasn't thinking. But right, yeah. It's much too soon. Sorry. Look, everything comes out next year in my brain because Wilds comes out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's that going to be pretty rough for Freedom Wars, because depending on when Wilds comes out, Wilds takes up like the first half of 2025. So it's gonna be
That's
rough.
absolutely true.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. A game that none of us care about, Battlefield. New Battlefield was talked about by EA a couple days ago. They showed off a new art for it, which I mean looks like all other Battlefield art, concept art, in my opinion.
You're not wrong.
So yeah. But you know, they said there's gonna be 64 player maps because there's always 64 player maps, I think. Classes will return, but specialists will not return. They stated that Battlefield 3 and 4 is like considered peak of Battlefield. So they're gonna model the new Battlefield around like that because apparently the core Battlefield players want that and they know what they want. It's going to use a modern setting, so I guess prepare for that. NEA has
They kind of have to do all of this because, as I recall, is 2042 is the most recent one, right? Like, it's not one that came out after that.
It's either that or Battlefield 4.
Okay, well, I'm going to assume 2042 because that's the last one I heard spoken about. That one didn't do well. Like critically, I think it was very, very middling, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, like 40 to 60s, and the player base just absolutely panned it. So to hear that they're going back to the successful games as a point of reference, yeah, sounds like you fucking need to do it. Sounds like a good plan.
Most recent Battlefield game is 2042. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
2021 it came out.
That went over pretty poorly, so they
Yes,
definitely
it did.
needed to do something to shake up whatever trajectory they were on. Because as I recall, the last few Battlefield games have had issues with the player base. I don't know if they were all critical flops. They might have actually done well, but when people speak about them, it's never good.
Well, I know 2042 was like plagued with technical issues at its launch. So, like people like legitimately could not play 2042 when it launched.
Oh, even worse. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So, EA also plans to launch a community program next year.
Oh yeah.
So I have no idea what that entails, but I guess it's probably some like partner program type thing.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a partner program, and EA is one of the companies that kind of desperately needs that kind of good press. So
Yeah. So be interesting for people that like playing Battlefield. The only Battlefield I actually really ever got into was like Battlefield 2, I think, or Bad Company 2, I think, is the one that I've actually played. That game was actually pretty fun, but every other Battlefield game I've just been like, eh.
I have access to a bunch of them, but I've never actually played Battlefield. It's never been the boots on the ground shooter that I went towards.
Yeah. But Sony is apparently deep into PS6 development. Apparently, they're already deep into development.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm not actually surprised to hear this, but at the same token, I'm also not surprised that people hear this and are having some pretty spicy things to say about it.
Well, yeah.
What are they
Like
saying?
this, people are not happy with that. People like
What?
you
Why?
just put out this Pro and blah
Oh,
blah blah.
okay.
People completely forgetting that the PS5 came out in 2020 and it's
Yeah.
2024. So we're
Yeah,
about
and
halfway through what we would expect the life cycle to be, and
yeah,
life cycles just feel like they've been getting faster. So this is going to come out in like what 2026, 2027, we bet.
yeah. It would be like
Nah,
next year. It'd be
nah,
like a couple of years at the very
nah.
least.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
yeah,
would
yeah,
I would say 2027 at the earliest.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Um, or at least I'd say that they planned for it to come out in 2027 at the earliest. But I will probably go ahead and say probably 2026, just because I think the Pro is going to do complete ass, and they kind of want to push something out that might actually do decent. because they also said that backwards compatibility is of high importance for the PlayStation 6. So,
Which, I mean, makes sense. One of the best aspects about the PS5 for me is all the games I had on PS4 I could actually bump up in my PS5. And
yeah.
I remember back in the day when this was a normal thing, my PS2 played all my PS1 games, and my PS3 was supposed to be able to do it too, but I was too late for that one. And they
Well,
stopped making that version.
yeah, I had that one. The one that did PS1 and PS2. So I didn't miss that, and that was great. All right. But Fusion, which is the content creator in the 14 community, he stated, if backwards compatibility to them does not mean I can put in any PlayStation disc into the PlayStation, then I don't care about it. All right. I want to be able to
First
pick
of
up my
all,
PlayStation 3 disc and put it into this PlayStation 6
no,
and it
see,
works.
okay, then you immediately understood where I was going to go. First of all, you're never going to get that. Maybe it plays the PS1 and 2 games, which I doubt. But it certainly isn't going to play PlayStation 3. We've learned that. My assumption would be this would be PS4, 5, and then 6 itself. I would love to be
That's
wrong. I
not
would
true
love to
backwards
be wrong.
compatibility, but
So people keep saying this, but I like the fact that it
hey,
plays the
the
last two
Xbox can do
generations.
it. That's all I need to say. The Xbox can do it.
Oh, I have look. This sounds like I'm defending Sony.
Yeah.
I am merely reading you the words as written.
Yeah.
If it plays the previous two generations, it's backwards compatible. But
Yeah.
that backwards compatible
has
is
an
kind of
asterisk
lame.
on it. It has an
Yeah, it's a
asterisk on
it's
it.
a big old bolded one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the fact that Microsoft has had this figured out since day. Well, I guess not day one because they didn't need a day one, but since like the first follow up console. This is weird that Sony's always put this in the rear view. This feels like something that like Nintendo is very good at, by the way. Nintendo does not do backwards compatibility.
No. Though
Uh,
they said that Switch 2 is apparently backwards compatible with Switch, so.
Or when you name it the Switch, well, I guess, and they won't name it the Switch 2. When that's the way it's been talked about, oof, can you imagine if it didn't? In regards to the PS6, look, listen, I understand there's a lot to be angry about, especially with the PS5 Pro being the wet fart that it is. But there are aspects I am interested in. Like, I don't believe that the PS5 is going to do a rock solid 60 frames per second on all games, but it was recently pointed out to me by someone who I do not trust. So take that with a grain of salt. That the games won't even be in like 1080 when they're upscaled to 4K. They'll actually be a even lesser quality.
Like
So
eight
they
something.
might something like that. So they might be able to cheat guarantee 60 frames with a weird resolution that is then upscaled. But I feel like if you upscale something below even 1080, you're going to get a real funky picture. But again, that is the strong point. And this is something that I didn't understand until I did more reading after we had our podcast. That is something that is probably covered by the PS5's AI upscale.
Mm-hmm.
I've done some research into was it PSSR, like the USSR only for PlayStation.
Yeah. The
So
pisser.
oh no. I did some reading into that, and that's just, and this is going to sound worse than it is. Apparently, this is FSR 4, the FSR that isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, that moves
FSR
it.
doesn't have. Go ahead.
It just moves it into the next thing with the Digital Foundry post, because they got
I didn't read this. Tell me about it.
because they got hands on the actual like 4K files of the presentation that was given by Tim Sweeney
Yeah.
God damn it! What,
No, Mark Cerny.
Mark Cerny. Gee, people's names, man. They actually got like the 4K like videos of it or whatever, and they matched that up to what the PlayStation 5 can do, and The Last of Us Part 2, 1440p and 60 FPS is just like the PS5 base. All right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alan Wake 2 has two modes: 864p at 60 FPS and 1260p at 30 FPS, which are the same as the base model PlayStation
That's
5.
I was about to say that's a PS5.
Assassin's Creed Shadow seems to go 864p and 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro.
That feel when one of the worst people you know is right.
Yeah. So, because Digital Foundry got their hands on it, they did the comparisons. It seems like these games are not doing any better on the PS5 Pro.
So, I'm going to be honest, I'm not surprised because, as far as we're aware, because Sony talked exactly 0 seconds about it, that CPU is the same. And if that's going to be a bottleneck, it doesn't matter how big and how strong your GPU is, how much you've ramped up. So it's going to matter how much they've ramped up the RAM a little bit, because that'll make the AMD architecture run better. But like, a bottleneck is a bottleneck is a bottleneck.
Yeah.
If you don't fix the problem, you're not going to get a better game. Or at least a better experience in this case. So, like, again, that PSSR must be something else if this is what they're willing to downscale. Sorry, to use for upscale. And I don't even rule out that this is what they're doing, because I mean, AI used in this sense makes sense. This is going to allow you to have a smaller amount of pixels to have to render frame by frame, which would make sense that there's more room for better FPS. I just wonder if at this point, even if it is 4K, are you still getting muddy textures and questionable texturing because of how much you're stretching out or how many fake pixels you're generating?
Yeah, it seems like the PS5 Pro stuff is literally all just on its new AI the AI upscaler or whatever.
Yeah,
because
that's
Digital
what the core of this is.
Digital Foundry said that the AI upscaler could be a game changer or whatever.
I agree with that, by the way. Yeah,
because it's going to enable developers to focus on quality over quality over quantity of pixels or whatever. They're going to allow people to. It's going to allow the games to look better, all right. With each individual pixel, or whatever, instead of having a bunch of pixels. So while like Alan Wake might still be at 864p or whatever. However, it's going to look like a better 864p than something you would see on like the Switch at that resolution.
The problem is, and it's not going to be a problem to someone. I'm just going to throw myself into the bus. Someone like me, who when Sony was showing off, showing off all of the side by sides, I was like, there's no difference here. I saw the difference in frame rates, but when there was like quality versus quality, I'm like, these two pictures are the same.
Yeah.
My worry is if you have to upscale an image that is particularly small, like 840 feels really small if you're going to 4K. At some point, you're generating so many pixels. I feel like there's room for either error, especially when dealing with AI, or you're going to get a stretching effect that's going to be weird. And again, I don't play at 4K, so I doubt this is ever going to affect me. I'm a 1440 person, so literally half the resolution, or about half the resolution, 2K, right? So I don't know, but I do think the concept of the AI, like, because what this is a more professional test run, like a test run in the wild. I think as they keep up with this is going to be amazing because we know that upscalers do work. DLSS is a gift for any game it's in. You just suddenly can generate so much more frames per second than without it. And FSR is also astounding for frame rate. It's a little bit worse for quality, but in terms of generating frames, FSR is brilliant for that. And knowing that the PSSR is using stuff, at least from what I read, it was using AMD tech, so it was literally
Mhm.
beating FSR to FSR4. I suspect that that's the route they've gone, and that's why I worry about the quality aspect. Because no matter how nice the devs make it, if the upscale has to do the same kind of work that FSR does, I worry that there will be obvious blemishes for people who care about that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't give a shit. I don't play at 4K. It does not need to upscale that hard for me. Whatever blemishes are there are going to be fine. People lost their minds over Rebirth, and I didn't have an issue with it at all, frankly.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it either. Like there were obviously some like because sometimes like the characters would like would have like would kind of look like some smearness on like they wouldn't be as high quality as if you're playing on performance mode.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'd get a little muddy, and there was obvious ghosting,
Mhm.
which is a problem that shows up in Wukong as well. Let me tell you. Um, but I mean, for someone like me, I don't give a shit. I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I'm
I
willing
didn't
to.
give a
I'm
shit
willing
either.
to. I'm still of the mind that I want worse games, blah blah blah. That whole meme. Like pay
Uh
developers more to make a slightly overall not photoreal product.
Yeah, it works well for me. My brain runs in 30 FPS.
well that
Ugh.
uh the great thing about Rebirth was that like when you did put it
Yeah.
on performance mode, it ran at a very smooth 60.
It was buttery. This is true.
Yeah.
Does it now?
Yeah.
It was buttery.
Performance was a very smooth 30. So it was I mean as smooth as you can get 30 frames a second, but like I mean it was a constant 30.
Yeah.
And so weren't any dips into it. And I mean if you were going pixel by pixel, if you were Maximilian, dude, yeah, you would sit there and be like, this looks amazing, because that's what he did half the time.
Again, Max is the reason this fucking game exists.
Yeah.
These fucking
Uh-oh.
pixel counters. You're the reason the PS5 Pro exists.
Yeah.
At least he
Matt.
knows. He did a whole video about it. So
Yeah. But I played Rebirth like primarily on, like I swapped it to fidelity mode a couple of times, not to actually play, but like just sit there and like look at something.
yeah.
Um, but anytime I was like going into battle, I was like, no, because you could parry and stuff in Rebirth, but like if you were playing the fidelity mode, it was a lot harder because you did not have as many frames to work with. So
Yeah, and once you get used to that, it means a lot.
yeah,
Um, like I said, I've never really been able to. It's been rough. I've slowly but surely been able to see the difference in resolution as time has gone on. Like I now can tell the difference between 1080 and 1440. But I've always understood frames, and that's mostly just because of fighting games. But the
yeah,
same concept applies. Like you literally get double the time to do things, and it makes a huge difference.
mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I'll link I can link the Digital Foundry video in our Discord.
Please do. I'd be super interested in watching
Yeah,
that.
it's like an hour and something long. I'll do it in Leaks chat. No, I don't want to block elements. Why is that the last thing on the?
Huh?
When you right click on like like even in a text box, when you right click
Yeah.
on Firefox or whatever, it'll ask you if you want to block element.
Oh,
Because you
okay.
can go into the code of like the
Oh,
website to
right,
block a few
yeah.
block like things that are shown to you. But yeah, it'll probably be an interesting. I didn't watch it, but like it's probably interesting enough. I know it's like almost 2 hours long, so so yeah.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
Our last bit of news, which was really weird because I didn't know there was a lot of like strife going on within Annapurna. Annapurna Interactive, the games publishing side of Annapurna, every single one of their staff members put in their resignation and left.
This is insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whole studio, boom, gone.
The whole studio gone.
Did you ever learn more? Because I am very
They're not gonna.
confused
I
by
don't think
this
they're gonna tell
story.
us. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah,
They're
no,
actually gonna tell
okay.
us. No.
Okay.
They were in a negotiations with their parent company, Annapurna Entertainment, which does movies and stuff. But it seems like their negotiations fell through pretty hard. I know Interactive was wanting to have their game publishing division be separate from the company in general. So like pretty much the entirety of Annapurna Interactive wanted to be separate, wanted to not be part of the parent company that was Annapurna Entertainment. And they apparently fell through really hard, and the CEO of Annapurna Interactive pulled out of the negotiations, which then had all the employees following in suit, and so they all put in their resignations.
Really wish one person would open up about this, because for the first time in a long time, I'm struggling to see Annapurna as the bad guys. I fully understand why Annapurna doesn't want to spin off a part of their company to be independent. Like Annapurna is a successful gaming and it's an entertainment company. Like if they're both successful, why on earth would the parent company ever want to let it go? Um, and I'm not blaming the employees yet. I assume they have a very good reason for not wanting to be in that environment. I just need to know what it is, because at the moment, I am inclined to side with the big evil company, because they're currently, to the best of my knowledge, not that big and not evil at all, and justified in not doing the thing.
Unsure. They like, because this just came out of nowhere. I mean, people knew that they
Absolutely did, yeah.
people knew that they were in talk. They were about to be in talks with stuff like that. And I honestly, I heard about them wanting to detach from entertainment, like from a third party, because people over at Gig Boots apparently got wind of some stuff that was going on over there. But that's apparently the shtick of what happened. And I don't think anybody else has said anything. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a random publishing studio come out of nowhere.
Yeah, because
Soon with, like,
literally
all the people.
everyone left. I'm assuming if they were ready to leave in that moment, it was because they already had the idea that they were going to do it themselves.
Yeah, from what I'm reading on the wiki, the president of Interactive announced that he would depart from the company in September 2024 alongside with co-heads Mark and Vela. Annapurna Pictures stated that they were making plans to integrate. Oh, that's why.
Tell me more. Did he get a new car?
Entertainment, or the pictures, was going to merge Interactive with one of their other branches after the presidents and co-heads were leaving. And so that was where the negotiations were coming in from. We're going to be like, can we just be our own independent studio and not be part of entertainment, period?
Oh man, that's messy.
Yeah.
Because now I fully understand why they left,
Mm-hmm.
but I also understand why Annapurna didn't go through with the deal. God, I don't. So this is actually big dumb evil company move.
Yeah.
Well, at least big dumb evil executives, not the company itself.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still wanted to stay separate as Annapurna Interactive, but they did. But Annapurna Pictures or Entertainment said no.
God, what an awful deal.
Yeah,
We're gonna merge you in. So it's probably just gonna be. It's just gonna be all one. Oh man.
yep.
God, even
There
if
we
they
go.
stayed, and like best case scenario, that's gonna be so messy internally.
Yeah. Apparently, new people that had joined Annapurna Interactive had already been moved to the new studios. But the majority of the employees that were in Interactive just resigned because they did not want to be merged into another studio. So that makes sense now.
Yeah, no, that finally puts a lot into perspective.
Yeah. I can't blame them. I also wouldn't want to be merged into another part of a company and having to deal with heads from a company that didn't have anything to really do with didn't have anything to
You
do
know
with
what
what you
was
were
going to
working on.
inevitably happen? Was inevitably going to happen is, hey, we need talent for this film.
Yeah,
You're an Annapurna
yeah,
developer. You are now subject
working
to
on.
the company. We're going to
Yeah,
have you work on this. That's not really what I do, and I'm not very good at. Yeah, it's fine. We just need we need a
exactly,
workforce. Come on.
exactly. That's exactly what was going to happen. So
But then again, they're published. I don't know. This is weird and messy. I don't like that. I don't like that.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's an ugly end to an ugly situation,
yep.
and yet it's still not the most messy ending.
True. True is not the most messy ending. Yeah. But that's all I have found. I even went searching before we even started the podcast. There's nothing left for news this week that I've seen. I mean, I'm sure there is or whatever because every time I throw up an episode, I then go and listen to Ralph's episode, and he's got like 18 other things to talk about. But I don't know where he sees all that stuff at. So,
Sad.
what'd you say?
The joys of being an insider in the industry, where you can just talk to people that are actually going through it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but yeah.
Just yap.
What are y'all doing this week?
Farming.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Oh yeah, you are.
I will be wrapping up my last run through of Wukong, which should be done pretty early on, and then maybe I'll continue on with Project God damn it, Octopath Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Because I should actually play that game. um, and I don't know what else, if I'm honest. I had a pretty busy time of it while I was sick, and that wrapped a couple of days ago. So should be a light work week for me. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to get some work and not have it be light, but
Yeah.
you will find out what I did this week
Next
next
week.
week.
Yeah. Well, my life is going to be.
Hey guys, ready for some more
Continue to
fairy
be.
tale?
Yeah. That would that's what my week's going to be. Also, we're watching Fairy Tale in English because I
Oh, unexpected.
the dub is actually far superior. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Unexpected.
Yeah, it is. It is way man.
Hey, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes it's a Rurouni Kenshin and a Dragon Ball issue where the voices, no matter how good the actors are, just don't match.
Dude.
Like, I'm sorry, JP Goku will never be my Goku.
Yeah, same here.
And I realized she was Goku since he was itty bitty, but then he got really, really big, and it's a really squeaky voice coming out of that big man.
Yeah. Todd Habercorn just does a really good Natsu, man. And then I go to listen.
Habercorn.
And then I go and listen to like Natsu, and so the one of the things that hurts me about playing Fairy Tale is that it's in Japanese, like the voices in Japanese. So I had to like listen to all this. I have to listen to.
Yeah.
I have to listen, like Natsu. Natsu's okay, I guess. His voice is a little too deep, I think, in Japanese.
Deep. Whoa. All right. That's not the
Yeah.
issue I was expecting you to have.
Well, I mean, not because Todd Haberkorn usually plays like higher registered characters or whatever.
This is fair.
And the way Todd Haberkorn yells when he's like not like yells stuff about like the power of fucking friendship and shit like that, whatever. It feels a lot better than what I've heard in Japanese.
Okay.
Is Fairy Tail a Nakama or Tomodachi power of
Nakama.
friendship?
Nakama.
Okay, of course.
It is the power of Nakama. Yeah.
Now I'm going to be honest. I don't fully understand the difference, but I know they are. I know they are the same. They are similar, but not the same.
It is hardcore Nakama.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. They like. Tad Abercorn plays Natsu. Shirami Lei plays Lucy. Colleen Klinklebeard is Urza. So.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's Riza, right? That's Riza. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Riza. That's actually Luffy in English One Piece.
That's a choice.
Okay. But apparently it's really good. So.
I mean, look, after 15 years or however long you've been doing it, I imagine you figure something out.
Yeah. I don't know who Gray's voice actor is, but Gray's voice actor has this ability to crack his voice when needed. All right? And it's perfect. It's absolutely fucking perfect. Like, he cracks his voice at exactly the moment you would think somebody would have their voice crack.
That is cool.
Okay.
He is voiced by Newton Pittman.
Yeah, it works. It works. There is a scene where the Dark Dragon of Despair drops down and he says, "Holy crap!" But he like cracks like it is how you would feel somebody would say "Holy crap" in this.
Okay, yeah.
1 second, I need you to back up. The what dragon of what?
A Dark Dragon of Despair.
Despair.
Okay, I see what we're working with. I understand now.
Yeah, his name is Acnologia, one of the dark dragons of one of the like dark demon dragons of Zeref.
Keep saying words and it just becomes more and more like, oh, okay.
He is a dragon that absolutely hates the entire world and will destroy it.
Fair.
Yeah, so.
Or I guess super unfair.
It's like Gray. I'll have to show you it. But Gray cracks his voice perfectly, and I'm just like, I always get a laugh at it. So, yeah, that'll be me. It'll be fair to it's not time for me to go on my I do go on vacation next week, like a 5-day vacation from work, or whatever.
Hey, remind me again why that is.
Because Kai no Kiseki comes out.
You're damn right.
But we'll have another episode before that episode comes out. Before
I see.
That's fair.
So,
that's fair.
Yeah, I don't get to play it until what's the 25th? Wednesday. I don't get to play it until next Wednesday. So and that's like middle of the day Wednesday. Whenever it becomes the 26th in Japan, that's when I get to play it. So yeah.
Next
but
week.
I have the 24th to the 28th off, so that's like 5 days. So yippee. And I can just do nothing but play Trails. Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean that'll be next week. So we'll have another talk before then. But yeah. That is it for this week. Dalit, do the thing.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, you can find us here at twitch.tv/LeakWipples on Tuesday evenings, or if you want us on demand, catch us on YouTube at Perpetual Backlog Podcast. Wherever you choose to listen to us, remember to show us some love with a follow, a like, or just saying something down in the comment section. That said, I've been Dalit, they've been Link and Aqua, you've been amazing, and we'll see you in the next one. Be good now.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely